I hope you're having a great day, and I hope you have a great weekend ahead. Today I want to talk about non-alcoholic fatty liver. Some people will have an alcoholic fatty liver, which is not just caused by the consumption of alcohol. That would be one of the major contributors, but also poor lifestyle. So we talk about the non-alcoholic fatty liver, but if someone has alcoholic fatty liver, they need to follow exactly the same things that I speak about today. And of course, it's common sense. You need to stop alcohol. Okay, so what we're going to do is understand, number one, for the longest time, people have believed that they cannot do anything with fatty liver because there's no medicine for it. So some doctors will say, hey, go and change your lifestyle. Some people say there's nothing that you can do with it. But the point is, there's a lot that you can do with it. Number one, if your own liver has created excess fat, that is the problem. Your liver can get rid of it. Nothing is permanent. Absolutely nothing is permanent. Sometimes when it's too late, it's different. You move from a mild fatty liver to a grade 1, a grade 1 to a grade 2, a grade 2 to a grade 3, which is serious, and then it's a grade 4, which is a cirrhotic liver or a scarred liver. Even when people have scarred livers, when they make beautiful lifestyle changes, they can stop the progression of it. There are a lot of people who are now in line for a transplant, but in that line, they have this fear because now it hits you. Hey, I'm going to be in for a transplant. I'm going to be on immunosuppressants for the rest of my life. They start to seriously make changes, and a lot of them never get to that transplant. Their body learns to live with it. Their liver learns to function with it. We're going to understand today how to reverse a fatty liver. It's 100% possible. Why do I say this? I've seen our own patients do it, and I've seen a lot of other people who are not our patients follow simple instructions, make the change, and move from a grade 3 to a 2 to a 1, or if they have a mild fatty liver, they don't have one anymore. The point is, when you have a mild fatty liver, your body's already giving you symptoms. That's a symptom. You don't have to be scared. Your body's trying to tell you, hey, I'm accumulating fat in my liver. Now, does that sound like a good thing? No, absolutely not, right? So let's understand the reason. So number one, you need to drop body fat. So if you have a lot of body fat, it's time to start dropping that body fat. A lot of people chase weight loss. Your goal is wrong. The goal is never weight loss. Because when you say you want weight loss, you attract people selling you weight loss. Weight loss could be water weight that you lose because they put you on natural diuretics. Some people even put you on diuretics. If your protein isn't right, you start to lose bone. You start to lose muscle mass. And now because you lose muscle mass, you lose weight, but you put the weight back on, and you have an untrained metabolism because you need muscle for metabolism. A lot of people on fat diets and diet trends start to lose bone density. So now you lose a little bit of weight, you put it back on, but you're sicker than when you started your journey. Your goal has to be fat loss. How do I lose inches? How do my clothes start to look better, fit better on me? Not just the weighing scale. Your weighing scale, your scale weight can fluctuate 6 times in a day because of so many reasons, not just what you eat, even the temperature, humidity, atmospheric pressure can all impact our weight. And I'll give you a simple test. Check your weight in the morning, check it 4 hours later, 4 hours later, 4 hours. 6 times a day, you'll have different readings at every point in the day. I'm not saying that you should not get on the scale, but probably once in 15 days or once in a month. Because when you're burning fat or losing body fat, your clothes will start to feel better. People will look at you and say, hey, you've been doing something good with your body. So number one, drop body fat, especially the excessive fat that you have in your abdominal area, the belly area, and all of that stuff. It is possible to reduce it. I'm not saying you got to get a size 0 figure, nor am I saying you have to have a 6-pack. I'm saying burn fat. Because that brings me to my next point. You don't just have to look fat to have a fatty liver. You can even be skinny and thin and have a fatty liver because of other issues that we'll now get to. Processed food, ultra-processed food, junk food, all of your commercially fried French fries, deep fried foods. Today, even sushi isn't real sushi. You have a lot of sushi made the wrong way. It's like how Chinese food became Indian Chinese, which tastes way better than Chinese food. But sushi, today you'll have sushi, the amount of rice is way more than the protein. You have a lot of these tempuras, children love them, adults love them. It's the same thing. Just because you're eating in a fancy Japanese restaurant doesn't make the oil any different. The same oil is being reused. Stand behind a live counter of the best restaurant. Once they deep fry, they're not changing the oil, which we should. They're using the same oil till the end of the shift. Maybe the next day, we don't know. All of these things, that is what makes outside food so unhealthy when you're eating too much of outside food. I'm being practical. Go out on the weekend, have a meal, have 2 meals out, maybe 3 meals in a week. If you're having all of your meals out, and junk and packaged food, you know what's happening, not just to your liver, but to your heart, your kidney, your hormones, and everything else. So you want to be careful of that. Deep fried foods in the wrong oils. All of these are poison to a fatty liver and to your liver, because your liver has to spend a lot of time breaking all of this stuff down. Your liver doesn't even know how to handle most of these things, which brings me to my next point, which is high fructose corn syrup. You need to start reading your labels. High corn fructose syrup is toxic and poisonous to your liver. It affects every part of your liver, triglycerides, and everything else. And you will find them in your most favorite packaged foods. Teach your children to read labels. Read labels, but food lobbies are getting smarter and smarter. They use different names. So they may not put high fructose corn syrup, but they'll put glucose fructose, fruit fructose, crystalline fructose, liquid glucose, maize syrup, corn syrup. All of these things are the same things. You got to learn these things. Like you learn the rules of the road, you got to learn labels, how to read labels. Because if you have a fatty liver and you're consuming high fructose corn syrup, you're making it worse and worse. So this goes for your aerated drinks and all of these things. Learn to read labels. The next thing, start to weight train. You don't like lifting weights or going to the gym, it's not an excuse. Use your body weight. You don't like body weight, do calisthenics. You don't like calisthenics, use resistance bands. But learn to start building muscle. I'm not saying you got to build bodybuilder muscle. I'm saying build muscle. The more muscle tone you have, the less body fat you have. The more muscle tone you create, the higher metabolic rate you have, the easier it is to burn body fat even when you're sitting. So your liver, absolute fabulous recovery starts to happen when you add in this. And going back to the first point of burning fat, this is one of the best ways. Learn to build muscle. Your cardio, move away from the traditional lie that you've been fed. Get on the treadmill, get on the cycle, get on the elliptical. You can do that. But your first priority is to build muscle. And that's why I call it smart cardio. Your cardio is going to be smart. If you're looking at burning body fat, you're not going to get it with cardio. You're going to get it by building muscle. And yes, we must do cardio the smart way. Cardio for my heart and lung capacity, for my VO2 max. And if I can, I'll do interval cardio. Interval cardio will be way better. So I run, walk, sprint, jog. I can add interval training. I can do Tabata. I can mix CrossFit, whatever suits your body type. Keep in mind injury, any body pains that you have. But you can't be doing 7 days of cardio and expecting to burn body fat. Impossible. You got to build muscle. So 3 to 4 days, build muscle. The balance days with 1 day of rest in a week. You can do cardio. You can swim. You can do interval swimming. You swim 1 lap really fast and then come back really slow. Or just swim back at a normal pace. Keep challenging your heart rate. Start training in a zone 2. Start training in a zone 2, a zone 3 if you're really able to do that to burn fat. That's what you need to do. Deep sleep. All rejuvenation happens while you sleep, period. Nothing more to be said on this point. You're sleep deprived, you have problems in every aspect and organ of the human body. Now, let's come to something very interesting. If you have high blood pressure and you have diabetes and you're not looking after this, know that you can and will develop not just fatty liver, but even CKD, chronic kidney disease. It is not okay to live with diabetes, and it is not okay to live with high blood pressure. There are millions of people around the world who are making lifestyle changes, working with their doctors and reversing their type 2 diabetes and their high blood pressure. Their doctors are getting them off the medication because their levels are good. They made lifestyle changes or bringing it down to the minimum dose. But if you are living with high blood pressure and diabetes, the next thing that's going to happen is a fatty liver, CKD. You should know this. With India being the diabetic capital of the world and cardiovascular following, it's not okay to live with this. A lot of people, when I meet them, they say, hey, look, I'm fit, I'm healthy, I'm taking my meds, I'm all good. And I'm like, what meds? Oh, I have high blood pressure and diabetes. You're still sick. You're still sick. What lifestyle changes are you making to get better so your doctor can work with you to reduce that? That is the magic. Every medicine has a side effect. This side effect, and doctors are not wrong. Ethically, they're supposed to treat you for the symptom. The side effect is not their problem. The side effect is your problem. To look after the side effect of the medicine, of the drug that you're taking. And that's why you have secondary diseases that come up and pop up, like high blood pressure, diabetes. You know 100% it's going to be a fatty liver or a CKD if it is not managed the right way. So we need to look at that as well. Now, for women who are going through menopause or premenopause, and they have a fall in estrogen, or they've gone through chemo drugs like tamoxifen or certain medication that reduces estrogen. Estrogen is not a bad thing. Excess of estrogen is a bad thing. Estrogen is very protective against fat in the liver. So when women are going through menopause and they have a sudden drop in estrogen, speak to your doctors about this, because it is very important to maintain your estrogen levels. Now, a lot of that can happen through the way that you live your life before menopause. A lot of women wait for menopause to start making lifestyle changes or losing weight, and their journeys become a little more difficult. That's why I encourage every woman and man, you never wait for age to set in. You should be working out right now in your 20s, in your 30s, in your 35s, in your 40s, in your 45s, if you want to have a smoother menopause. And if you are on these drugs like tamoxifen or any drugs that lower estrogen, you need to speak to your professionals to make those lifestyle and nutritional changes that can help you keep the right amount of estrogen, because a lot of menopausal women start to get a mild fatty liver. Or a lot of women, of course, on tamoxifen and other drugs tend to get this, but it can be managed. Coffee, black coffee. A lot of people love coffee, but a lot of people are also stingy. They like spending money on the wrong things. When it comes to your coffee's got to be quality coffee. Pure black quality coffee is very protective to the liver, especially a fatty liver. The science is documented, real. Most of our liver cancer patients, people with livers, they take coffee. Now it's got to be the right way. We're not talking about a frappuccino. We're not talking about your mochas and all of the rubbish added to coffee. We're talking about plain black coffee. Learn to drink it. Don't like it, drink it like medicine. Doesn't suit you? Of course don't drink it. As simple as that. Try never to do coffee on an empty stomach or in a fasted state. A lot of cultures would like to put you into that box and say, hey, you can fast on coffee. Anyone can fast on coffee because it doesn't make you hungry, but you're not truly fasting. You don't want to put a stimulant that stimulates adrenaline and cortisol into a fasted body. A lot of cultures like quick fixes. They like things to be easy. They like to talk big and make things look easy. And that's where we destroy the way we live. If you're fasting, do it the right way. You can do only 14 hours, do 14 hours. Okay, don't add coffee to it because you want to do 18 hours. Fast the right way or don't fast at all. Your MUFAs, your monounsaturated fatty acids, olive oil, very, very protective for the liver. Now, I know we're living in a country like India. It doesn't mean we can't use olive oil in our salads, but the biggest mistake you'll be making is cooking Indian food in olive oil, which has a very low smoke point. It oxidizes, causing more problems for your liver. So extra virgin olive oil can be added to your salads. You get MUFAs and PUFAs in your nuts, in your seeds as well. And your saturated fats are also great for you, like your pure ghees, your coconut oils, which are cold pressed. If you like avocado oil, which is very, very expensive, but it's a beautiful combination of your MUFAs and PUFAs, you can use that as well. Learn to stop refined oils. Now, I know your next thing is, oh, Luke, but oil is expensive. Says the person who spends money on an iPhone, but doesn't want to spend more money on oils, the right oils. Refined seed oils are slow poison because the consumption has gone up. We don't just eat it at home, but every restaurant meal, every restaurant and hotel will use, most of them, will use refined oils. And because of the overconsumption of all of this, we have more inflammation in the liver and more fat in the liver. So we need to make a change in the oils that we consume. If you're smoking and vaping and chewing tobacco and excessively binge drinking alcohol, I don't have to say anything. It's common sense, vitamin C. You know what to do. Finally, carbohydrates. If you lower your carbohydrates, but you also increase your protein and your good fat so that you don't get snappy, frustrated, hungry, hangry, the moment you start to drop your carbohydrates, you will notice an immediate change in your fat and in the fat in your liver, which is a fatty liver. So I'm saying go smart carb. You don't have to do low carb the wrong way like people do it. When you go low carb, you got to balance your macros. Your protein and fat increases. Your fibrous vegetables increase so that you don't feel hungry and you don't kill your metabolism. So you got to go low carb, and believe me, a lot will change. A lot will change. Not just fat burn, you feel more energetic. It's unbelievable how we overdose on carbohydrates. And we feel tired. And instead of feeling more energetic, we feel tired. A lot of people come say, Luke, carbs is energy. I'm eating so many carbs and I'm more tired. Because it's not true. We can get fuel from different sources in the human body. We should be burning our body fat for fuel. That's the most efficient fuel for the human body. And the last point, because a lot of India thinks, oh yeah, I'm trying to be healthy, let's buy some more fruits. Fructose. A lot of people have to stop eating these massive fruit platters thinking they're being healthy in the morning. Excess fructose will cause more problems with your liver if you have a fatty liver. You can eat fruits. We're not supposed to eat fruits throughout the day. Nature gives you an apple, that's your portion size, eat an apple. You don't have to have an apple and papaya and strawberries and everything else. More fruits doesn't mean greater health. Now, if I'm balanced and I'm really working out, everything's good, I may have an apple in the morning, and in the evening, I may have a bowl of pineapple paired with my protein or fiber. But you got to stop these fruit platters. And I can guarantee you this, because when a lot of patients come to us with very serious fatty liver, we actually stop them from eating fruits completely for sometimes 20 days to a month. And there's a big drop automatically, because fructose is dangerous to your liver. Very, very dangerous to your liver. So you got to cut these things down. So there goes your fruit juices, whether you make it at home in a cold press juicer, you buy it outside, your canned juices, your packaged juices, poison to the liver, poison to your plan to lose body fat. We need to understand these things, because all of this is metabolic health. The very fact that you have a fatty liver means you have poor metabolic health. You're vulnerable to anything. Diabetes, insulin resistance, cardiovascular problems, blockages, cognitive decline, any inflammatory condition. So this is how you reverse it. It's as simple as that. If you can do this with consistency and discipline, you miss a day, okay, just get back on track. But this is the secret, because there is no medicine. There is no medicine. The only way out is by making lifestyle changes. Have a great day, everyone. Until next time, eat smart, move more, sleep right, breathe deep. And remember, you care is all about you.